Well, in news this weekend, late Friday, the House finally approved a Republican bill that gives more funding to the National Guard on the southern border. But with the Senate already in a 5-week recess, there's little chance that any legislation is going to go through until the Senate comes back. The president spoke about the bill in a press conference earlier on Friday.
House Republicans, as we speak, are trying to pass the most extreme and unworkable versions of a bill that they already know is going nowhere, that can't pass the Senate, and that if it were to pass the Senate, I would veto. They know it.
Well, a separate measure that was also approved would prevent the president from expanding a program that suspended deportations for some illegal immigrants who came to the U.S. as children. Tennessee Congresswoman Marsha Blackburn introduced that plan. She joins us now from Nashville. Congresswoman, it's great to have you with us. Thanks for joining us.
So good to be with you. Thank you.
I want to begin with a question that was raised by the Wall Street Journal in the Saturday morning edition, sort of indicating that a lot of the House legislation was driven more by Senator Jeff Sessions, Senator Ted Cruz, than the House members. Is that how it went down, or was this really House legislation?
It was House legislation. I can tell you, Raul Labrador, Bob Goodlatte, and I worked with a group of members, about 20, late into the evening on Thursday to get something that was going to be workable and would keep our commitment that we have made, Governor, to secure the border first. We also knew that we had to change catch and release. We had to make certain there was a repatriation plan to get those children back to their families in their home countries. And then separately, we in the House have always said no comprehensive bill, one thing at a time in each bill. Separately, dealing with the Deferred Childhood Arrival Program, the DACA program, which was my legislation. Basically, that takes away the president's ability to grant amnesty.
So explain what that bill does, the one that you sponsored and pushed through. Help our viewers to sort of see exactly how that works.
Right. What has been happening, the president would delay or defer the hearing for children that were coming into the U.S. for a period of 2 years and allow them to go ahead and get a work permit. And this was for children coming into the country or either children who had come here, individuals who had come here as children. And this was done by an executive order, not statute, but an executive order that was signed June 15th, 2012. And put into action August 15th, 2012. If you look at the escalation rate of illegal aliens coming to the country from that period of time, it is absolutely astounding. From 2009 to this year, you've seen a 305% increase. And by the time we get to next year, they were expecting a 1,300% increase. So what we did was to say we are freezing this program, and as of July 30th of 2014, no federal money can be spent on the DACA program or to give work authorizations to those who unlawfully entered the country. We also wrote it in such a way that it would handicap the president and keep him from, while we're away in August, trying to grant amnesty to another class or group of aliens that are entering the country.
Congresswoman, I'm a little confused because the president was at the podium. We played the clip as we were coming into the segment with you. And he said, well, Congress isn't doing anything. They won't act, so I'm going to have to. Of course, the Senate has gone home. He's threatened he would veto any bill that he didn't, I guess, personally write. I don't know how he became the monarch rather than the president, but how frustrating is it? I mean, you guys stayed. You didn't go on vacation like the Senate did. You stayed there and got a bill done, and yet he says that you're not doing anything.
Well, that's what he wants to say. Harry Reid, the same thing. We now have 357 bills sitting on Harry Reid's desk. But the reason we were so committed to doing this is because we want to uphold the Constitution. Article 1, Section 8, Clause 4, gives the process of naturalization to Congress, not to the executive branch. This is the jurisdiction of the House. It is laid out in the Constitution, and when you look at the enumerated powers a little bit further in that section, the enumeration for the executive branch, there is nothing that deals with naturalization. So the president is outside of the law. This is a very lawless administration, and what he had done was to go in and try to put in place a way to provide citizenship or amnesty, and now we heard he was going to expand this program. And Governor, we feel like it is imperative that we stand for the rule of law. We are a nation of laws that recognizes and respects the rule of law, and it is imperative that the U.S. House of Representatives take the lead in standing for the Constitution and saying, Mr. President, this is not an action that you can take.
You've clearly done your job, and I think one of the reasons we wanted to make sure that our viewers were able to hear from you, not only what you did, but the fact that Congress, in fact, did what they were supposed to do.
Right.
We appreciate your joining us. Thank you so much for being here.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Governor.
Great to have you.